What is up, guys? It is ChrisRoy739. I know it's been a while since I've made a video, but I'll be happy to let you guys know that I am done with high school. Woohoo! Yeah, so hopefully I can be, because of that fact, I can be cranking out more videos for you guys. But I'm not going to promise anything because college is college. So, in my absence, these amazing new cards have come out, and I just wanted to go over the ones that really stood out to me. I'm not going to go over all of them just because that would be a super long video, and this already is going to be a long video. So, I hope you guys understand why I won't go through all of them. So, this is our first card, Aaron Staff. I'll try and zoom out here. Um, Aaron Staff is an artifact. I think it's awesome that it's a Tabernacle and a Solomon's Temple artifact. Let's go ahead and read the ability. Once per turn, if your good Tabernacle Priest enters battle, reveal the top X cards of opponent's deck. Put Lost Souls in play and discard an evil card. Good Tabernacle Priest cannot be negated. Hebrews 9:4. X is the number of your Tabernacle Priest. This with the new ultra rare coming out, Eli the Priest, which searches, I believe, for a Tabernacle artifact and bans. I don't know. Anyway, but it's an amazing card as well. And with these two cards, I really think it puts the spotlight on the gold slash Tabernacle Priest with super amounts of searching and super amounts of draw, but also super amounts of looking at your opponent's hand and determining what's the best course of action. I love that this artifact makes Tabernacle Priest cannot be negated, because I feel like they needed that to move up in the world, and yeah, it makes them go from a really good kind of competitive deck to a super competitive beast mode deck. I think that this card plus Eli the Priest does that, plus the new cards in the expansion continue to help this. So yeah, I love this card, and yeah, I think it's really well balanced as well. So moving on to the next one. Next one I have, I believe, is the Cloud of Witnesses card. Good Fortress, Cloud card, very good. Another Hebrews. A lot of Hebrews to go with the artifact that says discard a Cloud card to search for Hebrews. But yeah, I love the Hebrews reference. Plays the set aside. That's very important for certain scenarios. I believe pretty much every single fortress is better if it's played to set aside. Unless it holds something, then it's not good if it plays to set aside. So anyway, it says each upkeep, if you control a clay hero, underdeck a cloud enhancement in discard pile. If you use a cloud card during a successful rescue attempt, you may shuffle an evil enhancement or demon. This is important because even though there are no Old Testament clay heroes, there's a bunch of the new cards that talk about the faith of all these Old Testament heroes that are really, really good for clay. So, going off this, I think this is a great... Sorry guys, I just bumped my mic. I think this is a great concept of trying to, unlike the last expansions where it was all old and all new, this is a great way to merge those two worlds together. I love the card, I think it's a great design, and I love that it shuffles the demon, because I love playing demon defenses, but hate facing them. Next card we have is Eternal Covenant. Let's see if we can zoom in here. Eternal Covenant is a half clay, half teal. You're going to see that a lot in this expansion. On activation, search discard pile for a human hero and put it in play. This is pretty crazy. It basically buries any ideas of playing David's Harp over this card. If you were ever thinking about that crazy combo. I think it's a great card. I'm not sure if this is what the offense needs. Is just, oh, anything that you discard I can just get back next turn. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Plus, there's not a lot of cards besides Hezekiah's Signet Ring that stop you from searching your discard pile. So, we'll see how this goes. I think this is like a card that you can put in every single deck, besides Pure Angels, which there's no reason to run Pure Angels right now, especially right now. Moving on, we're going to the Throne of Grace. This is another card that pretty much goes in every deck, and almost makes the previous card not worth anything. Almost. Almost. Sorry, that was the wrong phrase, guys. It doesn't make it not worth anything, but it just makes it so that it plays in less decks than it will over this one. The Throne of Grace. Good fortress. Also plays the set aside. Very important. If your human hero is removed from battle by a special ability on opponent's evil card, you may discard a single brigade good enhancement from hand to negate that card. This should be a staple in any deck that has half of its heroes human. I mean, it's literally a bettered Herod's Temple for every single thing. Yeah, I mean, there's no better way to put that. And this makes Fight by the Numbers amazingly good. Sorry, it makes just Fight by the Numbers amazing because you can run just a few more enhancements, maybe with some of the new enhancements. I don't know if there's any that go with it. I think there are, but then you can just discard it when they Christian martyr you, or they scatter you, or they. I mean, it's crazy what you can do with this card. So I think this is going to end up being in almost every single deck, but I may be wrong, but that's how I see it. Next up is Joshua, Son of Nun. I love that it's gold and red. 11-9 is a bit big, but that's okay. Judge and a Prophet. I love that. Take a brigade, a single brigade site in opponent's territory. Just take it. I love that. You may search deck for a Joshua hero, or Joshua may ban to a Joshua hero. Cannot be negated. I love that they separate the two because it's a cannot be negated ability. But I think that take a single brigade site is actually going to become more and more significant as Redemption moves on. And I think this is a great card because of that. And it also counters some Canaanite site craziness, which is exactly what I think they wanted to do. So I love this card. I love the split ability instead of both. I think we all learned from Stan that you don't want both on a CBN card. It's just not, no, just don't do it. But yeah, I think this is great though, and it inspires Joshua decks, and I'm sure there will be more Joshua cards. Alright guys, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you the most overpowered card in the game that will become not overpowered at all. I'll explain what I mean by that in a second. First, let's take a good look at the card. Gold, white, and green. Alright, that makes sense because he's a judge, musician, and prophet. Hey! This is Moses. I love this card art. I love this card art as the Ten Commandments. When I was younger, you weren't cool unless you had this I think this was the Ten Commandments one. And I love that they brought that back. It's a territory class hero. So that's crazy. So let's look at what it does in territory. Negate enhancements, lost souls, and characters in territory except cloud cards. Wow. So right out of the box, it's negating everything in territories. So that's pretty crazy. But let's continue on. While in battle, negate enhancements and characters in the field of battle, except cloud cards. So, let me explain my frustration with this card. And this may be overanalyzing, and I'm sure you guys will tell me. I hope you guys will tell me. But you have this card that's pretty much the staple of any cloud deck you're ever going to make. Pretty much. You just throw it in there because it negates everything except cloud. So if you're running on cloud, why wouldn't you run it? Second, if everybody runs cloud, then this card becomes almost useless because it doesn't negate anything. Almost. But on the other hand, anything that's not Cloud, it just totally wrecks because it negates in territory and in battle. So this worries me because for the fact right now, there's been very, very few evil cards released. And the ones that they have are nowhere near the scale of the offensive cards that released, which creates a huge unbalance, which really, really concerns me, and concerns me in this whole set. But till we see the entire expansion, I'm not going to make any definite uh, opinions. But this card worries me. I love it. I love the ideas about it. I just wish it wasn't so powerful to the point that it might become a strat to just not run it because everybody's running Cloud. Wait a minute, I'm going to go back to it. I do, though, love that it is Musician and it is white and that they boosted white. Had to say that. Moving on to David the Shepherd. This is the card that they made in apology for burying the old King David. May he rest in peace. But this is a great card, though, I think, if I remember correctly. David the Shepherd, 8/5, red and purple. I love that so much. Giant Slayer, King of Israel, Musician, and a Prophet. Got all the identifiers in there. You may search deck for the Throne of David or an Old Testament warrior class hero and put it in play. Cannot be interrupted. 1 Samuel as well. So this is a great card. Okay? You can search. This is basically the David we've always wanted for the deck that I played last year, which was Royalty purple and red. Like, if I would have had this last year, it would have been so awesome. It would have been so much more fun. Plus, this combos, unlike the last King David, because it's a 1 Samuel reference, it combos well with the Samuel, the overpowered Samuel I was talking about. And I love that. I love that I could play Sam in it just to get out him, just to search. Sorry, excuse me, guys. Just to search for more. I love that idea. I love that it cannot be interrupted, and I can't wait to use it. And I can't wait to make a new version of my old deck. Next, we have David the Psalmist. I'm just going to let you guys look at just the beauty of a musician, a pure musician, King David. Just take it in, guys. Just breathe in. Did anybody else get excited as I when they saw this? I mean, musicians are making a comeback, and this is the proof of it, you know. All right, so 5/5 white, a white green, which makes sense because he's a musician and prophet. Let's read his ability. Look at the top 3 cards of deck. You may underdeck them. If David's harp is active, you may play an enhancement involving music cannot be negated. I love that they make him CBN because when introducing a new class, you need that card, that CBN. I love that it allows a lot of play with your deck. It basically says you may mulligan your next draw, which is extremely powerful, especially when running a 50-card deck, when in reality you only have 42 cards that are super drawable. So that are ability-wise super drawable, if that makes any sense. David's Harp, I'm hoping to see a remake of David's Harp, because as I said before, there's no reason to really run David's Harp or Chariots of Fire because of the new covenant and the new fortress. So I'm hoping to see that, and play an enhancement involving music is just awesome. They added a few new cards involving music, which makes musicians playable. And I'm super excited for musicians, and I can't wait to build a deck. I don't think musicians will be competitive, but I hope hope I'm wrong, and I know a lot of you guys are with me. Let's look at another card that makes my old deck great, which makes me so happy. Melchizedek. Teal, blue, and purple. Now let me explain Melchizedek a little bit, just a little background in it. Melchizedek was, I believe, the priest and king of Salem that, let me see. I believe it was, let me see, not Abraham. Oh, I can't remember his name. Shoot, you guys remind me on my Bible history. What Genesis hero went to this guy? I thought it was Abraham, but I know I'm totally wrong on that. I must be. So no, wait a minute. It was whoever was Lot's uncle. Anyway, sorry about my lack of Bible knowledge. But this guy, he was the first priest that was considered like the priest of the Most High God that was recorded in the Bible. That was an actual priest. So he's a really cool guy. I really love him. There's a few cool things in Hebrews about him. I think that's why they brought him up, because they found him in Hebrews and were like, hey, we should make a remake. So anyway, territory class, very important. King of Salem, king, priest, very important. Protect your good kings and good priests and cloud heroes from capture and convert abilities. Whoa. Once per turn, if one enters battle, you may search a deck for a lost soul. Lost Soul's owners may draw one card. Okay. This is pretty much just as overpowered as Moses. The reason why I consider Moses more overpowered is because it's playable with even more. Basically, it boosts gold especially. It's able to play gold cards, where this is not. And blue and teal and purple haven't been as powerful by their own. So, but this is crazy though. Like protecting from capture and convert just always. And then once per turn, you can search any deck for a lost soul. And with the new lost souls, one of the new lost souls coming out, sometimes you may search for your own if your opponent has enough. Because if you want to draw cards, if you don't have a kill card, and you have a lost soul that you want to get out, you not only get to have the lost soul that damages your opponent, but also draw a card. And at the same time, if you don't have soul gen, you get to give them a lost soul, and then they draw one, and then they have another chance to draw a lost soul. It's a crazy card. Crazy card. So this is one of those cards that is like, are you able to afford to not run this card? So I've said that before, and I'm excited to see this play in different decks, in priest decks, pure cloud decks, Genesis cloud decks, Kings decks. But I'm also worried about the power creep, as I am with Moses. Moving on to the next card is the Faith of Samson. If a lone hero is in battle, discard all male evil characters in battle. Cannot be negated if more than one evil character is in battle. I love this idea, I love the creation of this card, and I love that it's clay. My only concern with this card is the power creep, because it is insanely powerful against those big banding chains. So, and it also diminishes that want to play bigger banding characters, which hasn't been true right before the release of this set. So, this concerns me. It really does. And the power creep concerns me. The next card that we have is Faith of Barak, which is the exact same thing, basically. Almost the exact same thing. If a female hero is in play, opponent may withdraw a male evil character. Discard all evil characters in battle. Cannot be negated if more than one evil character is in battle. This is a bit of a better one, because I feel like you can withdraw one of your male evil characters, but at the same time, it like wrecks demon bands. So I don't know. I feel like this is much less of a power creep just because they have that option to withdraw a male evil character, and that'll make this cannot be negated. So that gives you options to play around it, whereas the other one doesn't, and the other one's gold and doesn't say if a female hero is in play. Um, the only thing this says if a lone hero is in battle. And if you're playing gold, 99% of the time you're going with the lone hero. So that's kind of sad. Alright, going to the next card, Faith of Isaac. Look at the top 3 cards of deck, or top 6 if used by a Cloud hero. Take 1 into hand and top deck and or underdeck the rest. This goes back to just controlling your deck. This is an insanely powerful card, because when you're running a 50 card deck and you take 1/7 of your deck and organize it the way you want to and take 1 into your hand, any of them, it's just so powerful to control your draws that way, because the biggest hindrance in Redemption to continue getting your deck better and better in play is bad draws and unstable deck control of being able to draw it in the correct way, and this fixes that. So it is a bit of power creep because only basically blue clay heroes can use it. That's how I see it as a power creep. But on the other hand, blue doesn't have that much, and they really boost blue, and I don't have the problem with blue. I just have a problem with those 2 cards that Melchizedek and Moses, kind of making Cloud just too dominant of wanting to play it. So, moving on. Faith of Moses. Faith of Moses' parents. White clay. Interrupt the battle. Hero ignores an evil brigade. Cannot be prevented if used by a Cloud hero. I like this card because it goes with the musicians. It gives them it gives them an interrupt and kill, which they do not have. And yeah, I think this is just an overall balanced card. Goes with Moses' parents. Name on name bonus. If you're able to do name on name bonus, but cannot be prevented. I like that. So, and if you're using this, you're probably using a clay hero. I'm not Cloud hero. So. Next we have up is the Faith of Moses. This is basically like the other one. I'm excited about it boosting the white and the combo with Moses with musicians. 2/2 clay white, negate and discard an artifact or an evil enhancement. I love the dual trade, and I love that it says except a tabernacle artifact, because that way if you're playing against a certain deck type, you can't just discard the artifact. So it protects its own, basically it protects its own set, which this entire set does. And I talked about in my card of the week, way back when, about the Roman jailer, how the last persecuted church did that a little, and I was excited to see them move towards that, and I wanted them to move towards that, and this set like blew that concept out of the water, and it's great. But I'm going to keep saying it until I'm blue in the face. I'm still concerned a little bit about the power creep, because we haven't seen half the set, but we haven't seen barely any evil cards that match up. But moving on from my rant, I'm sorry guys. This is Faith of Sarah. I gotta grab a drink of water. Hold on. The Elixir of Life. Alright. Clay Blue, 1/1 enhancement, Faith of Sarah. Search deck or discard pile for a Genesis or Cloud hero. I like this card. I like that it boosts Genesis, and I feel like with the cards that I've seen, an all Genesis deck that has been kind of roaming about and trying to stay at the top table or 2 is going to finally become that monstrosity of deck that it's like, oh no, I have to play everything perfectly in order to win, you know. So I like what this does for Genesis, and I think it does some good things. Faith of Noah. This is another card that I'm really concerned about. 07 blue territory glass. Faith of Noah. You may search deck for a Genesis artifact or a good Genesis fortress. If an evil character is in battle, decrease all evil characters by 12/12. If you can't negate this, that's pretty crazy. It's basically an AOC for Genesis and Clay. Let's not forget that this is also a Clay card, and that can seriously do some damage, especially with all the interrupts and negates that Clay has. Whereas blue, they would just play all their kill cards. They would look at your hand, play their kill cards until they know you don't have any more, and then destroy everything. So this is a card I'm slightly worried about. But if an evil character is in battle, kind of saves this card from being like, whoa. So I'm excited about this card, and once again, I love the dual abilities. Do this and this. And if you want to use it in territory, the kill ability doesn't work. And if you use the kill ability, search is a kind of nice benefit, but you're really just playing it for the kill ability. So, also the 07 stats is amazing for Genesis, because Genesis is low numbered. Alright, another card that's boosting my old deck, which I love, but I'm not sure is kind of a little overpowered for the deck archetype. Anyway, but that's okay. Pretty much everything is overpowered considering what we've gone from to this. So, Faith of David, clay purple territory class. Place in territory. During battle, while an evil character is blocking, you may discard this card to add a cloud hero or a royal hero to the battle. This is pretty crazy, and the reason for this being is just because the purple red kind of base their stuff off getting extra heroes into battle and extra kings and working off those basically battle cry abilities coming into battle. And that it's placed in territory and not on a hero makes it less vulnerable to any kind of attack. So this is going to be a cool card. Faith of Enoch, clay green territory class. Place on your cloud hero. If hero is discarded by an opponent's evil special ability, you may remove this card from the game instead to rescue the hero as if it were a lost soul. This is the card I'm most concerned about. If you discard this hero, gain a free lost soul, basically. And that makes it so that you can basically have 3 lost souls, which means you only need to rescue 2. Like that's a pretty crazy concept. And if you protect your clay or your green hero from capture, like how do you get rid of this? Like you have to negate this, which is hard though when you have maybe Moses sitting in your territory and this is on Moses. What do? Discard Moses and give your opponent a lost soul? Or do you just deal, And yeah, I'm worried. I won't lie. I'm worried about this card. I'm worried about what it will do to the game. And maybe I'm overreacting, like I'm with a lot of stuff. I do want to point out all this artwork, this artwork, this artwork, this artwork, this artwork. All this artwork is so clear and so nice, and they all have this beautiful, just elegant feel to it. So, excuse me while my computer here is funky. Here we go. So, next is Faith of Jacob. Take 2 clay blue territory class Faith of Jacob, CBN on Jacob, but take 2 heroes in an opponent's territory to your territory until the end of turn. If used by a cloud hero during battle, you may add them to battle. Not on CBN on Joseph. Sorry about that. But this is a pretty crazy this is a pretty crazy concept because it is just so good, especially if your opponent is playing like either like judges with the Gideon and they have the Gideon and stuff to combo off it, or if they have what are some other cards, guys? I'm sorry. If they have some territory destruction, like I was talking about, with either the red gold or the purple gold, you can add them into battle and like destroy the character instantaneously. It's a pretty awesome card, but I love the concept, like breaking down the barriers of new abilities. Like I'm just going to take your 2 heroes and go for a rescue attempt. That's something that we've never seen before, and here it is, and it's exciting and it's new, and I'm so excited to play with this stuff. But on a competitive level, you have to remember all this stuff because you're like, if my hand is protected, do I want to put down my Phil and Bart so that they can go for a rescue attempt with Joseph and ban both of them to battle? You know, there's so much more stuff to play around. So I am excited about that. Isaac, 5/6. If an angel is in play, you may top deck an evil card or protect Isaac from capture and discard abilities. May ban to Rebecca. I love this card. It's territory destruction for Genesis, which hasn't been seen before, but I think it's what they needed to move them towards that just overpowering just tank of a deck, especially for the all Genesis deck. And I'm super excited about this. And I love, once again, you may top deck an evil card, do territory destruction, or protect Isaac from capture and discard. So make him a less better Gideon, or do territory destruction. I love the either or. I love it, I love it, I love it. Because it balances out the game, and it makes you play around more, it makes you think more, and it's all about the decisions. I love that. 12/6, Samson the Nazarite. You may discard an animal. While no female evil characters in play, protect Samson from discard abilities on evil cards. This is not cannot be negated, which is good. You may discard an animal is huge if I'm reading the few evil cards that I've seen, because they're making more animals that are going to be extremely useful and powerful and necessary for defenses. I love that it says while no female evil characters in play, protect it, but it's also negatable, and it's also debatable on whether a female evil character is in play. I don't think this will see a lot of play though, because it's so much reliable on that. But here's the big but: it will become totally playable if there are 3 overpowered animals that all go with defenses, because this basically says I'm just gonna wreck animals all day long, and then I'll just keep healing me. So heal me with like the Throne of Grace and all that stuff. 12/6 stats. I love Samson being a 12/6. Just can't get over it. And I love that this one's warrior class with an ability. So moving on. Oh, one more thing. I love that it says the Nazarite. It just always needs to be there. The Angel of Winds. 3/2. You may exchange 3/2 silver. You may exchange this hero with a human hero in deck. If that hero is a cloud hero, negate evil characters. Pretty crazy card. I think this is a great card. I think they could have used without the negate evil characters, or a different ability, in my opinion, just because of the power creep that kind of creates. But at the same time, there are things in the cloud that benefit from this, that need this. But on the other hand, it's like I don't want to like further develop the overpoweredness of those few more cloud cards. But overall, I love this card. It's a necessary card because every expansion needs its angel to go with its basis. So also this artwork, oh my goodness, that's amazing. I love that artwork. This is the card I'm most excited about, and that the one I want to play the most, even over David the Giant. I think it's David the Shepherd. Okay, 2/2 white territory classes. Moses' parents protect Exodus and Cloud heroes from the first evil enhancement played by an opponent each battle. Just going to let that sink in for a moment. All these Cloud heroes that we've been listing off, just protected from the first evil enhancement. Shania without the stats so that you have initiative for every single rescue attempt, for every single Cloud hero. For Moses as well, which already negates everything in territories and stuff. Pretty darn crazy, I gotta say. And yes, you can discard this in territory with different stuff, but I mean, still, guys, this is super powerful. So, yeah, there's not much more to say other than that. So, moving on. Hey, I just wanted to show some musician cards real quick for you, the musician lovers. Involves music, remove an evil from the game, kill card for musicians, and this is the most amazing part. Going down the double Bible reference. This goes back to my speech about the more diversity and just value a card has in diversity, the more powerful but balanced it becomes. And I love that fact that they're adding that more and more and more, especially in this set. Like every card in this set is that way. So I love that. Second card, search deck or discard pile for a white hero, involves music, territory class white, love righteousness. Once again, the duel, just a great card for musicians. It really is. This is the evil card. Evil card, activate. All right, Nimrod the Mighty, 11/11. It's both crimson and pale green, which is great. Assyrian and a Babylonian and a king. Search deck for an Assyrian, a Babylonian, or an Old Testament fortress and put in play. Super powerful, super necessary to match the new set. You may discard an animal to take a single brigade site in opponent's territory. Cannot be interrupted. I love that it cannot be interrupted. I love this card. I'm worried though because it doesn't. I love this card and I love what it does for Assyrians and Babylonians, and even maybe a merge of the two. But does this match up to the cards that we've been seeing? I just don't think so, and I hope I'm wrong. Everyman's Sword, multi-brigade weapon. I believe that's a first, folks. You may discard a multi-brigade good card or evil card. I love this concept of this being a cloud card that just enters battle and wrecks Moses' face. Love that fact. And Melchizedek's face. I think this is the balance that they think that will give the balance of the game to that. I don't think it will, because it's weapon, because there's so much territory destruction. I will be happy to be wrong, and I can't wait to see that I'm wrong. And I think that this will be run in every big defense deck. Or medium defensive deck. But anything that's really fast and run and gun, they're not going to run this. Which is their loss, because this is a great card. Cicero's Army. Alright, this is the card that I'm just going to complain about, and I may be totally wrong about, and please tell me if I'm wrong, guys. 9/9 Cicero's Army, weapon class. Hold on for just a second, guys. I need some water. Alright. Cicero's Army. Canaanite. Can't read the next card. X is the number of good brigades in battle. It says, if you control another Canaanite, withdraw an Old Testament hero. Opponent may underdeck X cards from hand or territory instead. Cannot be prevented. So, except Barak in Old Testament, doesn't do New Testament. If you control another Canaanite, you can instead it, but instead of insteading it, you can just have the cannot be prevented. You can just interrupt and kill it. It pretty much just gives free initiative to the opponent to just kill this card. I don't see this doing anything ever. And it makes me sad because I feel like this was meant to be the staple card of the Canaanites. And I don't see it working. And I hope I'm wrong. Next card, this is the card to give you hope that there is a good defense coming about. If you have not used the search ability this turn, end the battle. I love it. 1/3 Deceitful Sin. I don't believe Crimson had an end the battle ability yet, and I love that it gave it. I know Jay Chambers, or some of you may know him as Red, loves Crimson, and I know he loves this card. Crimson is a very good big defense right now, and it's the only one that I've seen pumped so far. So I I hope more is pumped so that there's diversity in defense. But right now, it's the pickings are looking kind of slim. This also gives me hope, but I'm kind of hemming and hawing and kind of worried about it. But at the same time, this is like an amazing card. OX Egyptian treasures. X is number of your Egyptians, and I think it says or something, but it's unreadable, guys. If an Exodus hero is not in battle, reveal the top X cards of opponent's deck. Put Lost Souls into play. Discard up to 2 good cards and underdeck the rest. Okay, that part is super powerful, going back to the deck control. Protect X Lost Souls from rescue. The only problem I see with this card is that it doesn't end the battle. And X is the number of Egyptians, which means you can protect all the Lost Souls from rescue, but because it's the huge number of Egyptians you'll have when you play this, you'll give the opponent initiative to negate this. Which is cool if they only have a kill card, but 90% of the time, they don't. So, I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. I think this has the possibility of being really, really good if you run it with just a few Egyptians, or play it with just a few Egyptians. But other than that, I don't know. I feel like its blessing is its own curse. So, anyway, guys, that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for always tuning in. Let me check out. You guys can check out my cool McCree screen here. But until next time, Until next time, I'll see you. And I hope you guys liked my opinions about the Cloud of Witnesses. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me how I'm wrong. Tell me how I'm right. But don't make me too big-headed. All right. I'm sure you guys are might be kind of critical about my harshness on the set, but I will say overall I love the new set because it gives the game so much life. Overpowered or not in